follow manze, lawama kwa kila msee. So yeah, welcome, enjoy yourselves, learn, and just have fun. Msikae boy asana.
Yeah, so Ruby was in radio. Yeah, a round of applause for Ruby.
As we were trying to learn the intersection of content, creation, creativity, we have been advised to simame hapa katikati, tusikae nikati na kuhepa. So, tushaanza kulala.
Yeah, and she was in radio, so forgive my voice. This is also my first time here. Yeah, the background on how we chose Homeboyz for this event was, like growing up, Homeboyz was, it's where all the cool kids were at. Did you guys listen to Homeboyz growing up? Mugu, your age. Yeah, so a lot of us just grew up listening to radio, and for us, this is what creativity, it's the epitome of creativity. The culture is here, all the cool kids are over here, and me, I'm on this other side for tech, and wondering when can I join them. So when we came here and Mike, Rabah, guys, how many watched Lions then? How many watched Lions then as kids growing up? No? Yeah, so Mike Rabah, the CEO of Homeboyz, was kind enough to take us through. And as we were going through, we thought this would be a very cool place for our community to also just come and learn about what being a creator in Kenya means. And a lot of us also know, we start a lot of companies. Like at the lab, people are constantly starting companies. One company or another. We have people here who are First Panda. It's all about content creators. And we thought, how about we bring the brains behind those startups or businesses to this place so that they can learn, and also soak up the energy. It's important sometimes. So yeah, that's the bit of background on why we thought Homeboyz was the perfect location for tonight. And before we proceed, I want us to introduce the three clubs, and I'd like to welcome Matu to give a brief background of what the three clubs is. Yeah.
Thank you, Ashuka. Uchi, thank you. And also thank you to everyone who's come. I see some familiar faces and new faces as well. Backbench people. So yeah, so for those who don't know about Web3 clubs, we're a community of tech creatives, entrepreneurs, founders, builders, programmers, musicians, right? So we are four years old. Our main 40 imekuwa ni developer training, then went much deeper into engineering training, and then founder support for Web3 startups. Recently, we've expanded also to hardware, mostly consumer electronics. Consumer electronics that are AI enabled, so wearables for students, robots for the service industry, for agriculture as well. So some of the things we're working at with or towards. And it's good to be at Hit Labzz because Homeboyz have been trailblazers really. How many of you know the history of Homeboyz? Yeah? How many of you know the founder of Homeboyz? Nasikia kuna goodies, kuna deliveries, watu wakijibu maswali. So, can I start with that? Okay. So, in Web3 events, no?
It's not that easy.
It's not that easy, okay.
Because
Sinikazi, yote ni anza. Okay. Sawa. So, founder wa Homeboyz anaitwaje? Wewe wacha. Not Wambogo, not Dennis. Raphael, just stand and tuambie. Father Gregory. Rosi mjui Ruby.
Amazon za ndani, unajua kuna zile.
Kama Amazon za ndani ndani. Yeah? Aha. Yes. We need one mic, Ochi, maybe with the audience.
Yeah. We need more than one mic for the audience because it's going to be a conversation.
Yeah, then maybe say who you are and where you're coming from.
Yeah. So who you are, like what you do, and then like 30 seconds.
check.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
My name is Salma Adam. I am a software engineer. I come from the Web3 space, and the founder you asked is Michael Graban.
Okay. So she's right, eh?
Yeah.
So mko mnapeana nini?
Labda tuambie sasa.
Mtamas wana sponsor hiki tu. Wamepeana nini? Sikuwa ni t-shirts.
Caroline will tell us what Timon has for
Okay.
us. Later on.
Timon as well. So yes, so that's Mike Rubber. Quite prolific entrepreneur, renowned, and I think I might be wrong on this, but I think Homeboyz might be the only entertainment company listed on the Nairobi Stock Exchange. It's not? It is the only one, right? Sindio? So sound, events, all those kind of things. Siri. Unasania hapo wako backstage. Wanakuja kuperform. Siri, join us please. Please. So the only entertainment company on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, I think that's a milestone, right? The only milestone kubwa sana, right? So sounds, events, entertainment. Each one of us here probably has been to, or has had or been impacted somehow by Homeboyz' work, Mike Rabba's work. They're listening to a song, going to an event that they've supported sound on, such kind of things. So the whole thing of having techies and creatives for us here was techies tunajenga products, zinakaa kwa comp, ama pale GitHub, right? Creatives now are on audiences, some of them have distribution. So how can we bring these two together? How many here have products they really love that they've built? Kama sisi wote, sio? Watu wa AI, watu wa hardware, watu wa fintech, credit, lending, all those things. So usually we start with the community we're at. We get our 10 friends to sign up on our platform. So I try to get grants, hackathons, and such kind of things. When we're building locally, I think creatives can be a good portal to explore with when it comes to distribution of what we're building. They have a following, they know how to communicate, they understand psychology vizuri, what makes people give you attention, and such. So they'll be good partners for us. So Web3 Clubs is really looking to get into founder support for go-to-market as well as distribution. So that's something we think we can work with the Homeboyz and Hit Labzz community. So if you're seated next to an artist, creative influencer, please get to know them. If you're shy, talk to Ashuka, Ochi, they'll introduce you to someone. But Ochi, I think that's it from me. Karibuni sana. I don't know if there's snacks and all those kind of things. Ochi, kuna chai leo? Chai. Okay, so thank you very much, Ashuka.
All right. So goodies are panaongelelea. There's a way to get them. So to join the Web3 Clubs community. Okay. So for the goodies, hit that QR code pale. Install that. This is a crypto wallet. No Shanza. Kilimani. Just get crypto. Sharp boys. Days. So you've got a bunch of links pale. So MetaMask is an app that I'm going to introduce in a bit. The link here of 3 Clubs, the QR code will add you to our community, which is on WhatsApp, and goodies for tweeting. So tweet, use the hashtag Zapo. Zitakam, I guess. Yeah. So handles, socials, let's just go up. So use those. There's gonna be some giveaways, not too much, but simple. Yeah. So that's it. So I want to introduce. So this event to a community builder nights. It's one of potentially many events. This might be the largest one actually. I believe we'll be doing this mostly at our lab. We'll welcome you guys. Just join the group, and after you'll be getting notifications on all events from us. So Web3 Clubs is a community of builders, founders, creatives, human beings who are passionate about emerging technology, specifically Web3 and AI. So how many of you know what Web3 is? What Web3 Club is 7? Like it's in the name, Web3 Club. So don't. The other guys, how many of you know what Web3 is? Blockchain. The guys from the creative space. Blockchain? Bitcoin?
I'm willing to take
I did Bitcoin.
I'm willing to take volunteers. So just give us an understanding of what you think. And I'm going to start with a face I've never seen before, or so but forgot, but now we've reconnected. Hi. Why are you here? I just want to know why you're here.
Why are you here?
Hello, I'm Martin Kitunga. Been part of the creative system, I don't know why you don't know me. Yeah, but I've been away from the tech ecosystem and been into the creator system actually. Like electronic dance music artist. Yeah, I'm also creating there. Yeah. To see how the tech bridges with the other and be part of it, part of this revolution.
Yeah, awesome. So Web3 blockchain is a technology that is aimed at making the internet safer, more transparent, more secure, and most importantly, trustless. Trustless means you don't need to trust people. So now you need to trust the bank to hold your money like you're just a child. We don't need to do that anymore, right? Permissionless. You don't have to ask for permission. I don't know if you guys, I've had this thing growing up where you can imagine a cinema, and I even have. I know you guys have been in that kind of state of mind, yeah? So permissionless. And one of the technologies that's been pioneer this whole movement is the idea of a wallet, a digital wallet. So most like Pesa, but in the blockchain crypto world, I guess just call them wallets. And so MetaMask, one of the sponsors of this event, is a wallet just like that. So when you have a MetaMask wallet, and then your friend has a MetaMask wallet, and a shopkeeper has a MetaMask wallet, and then you're holding funds in those wallets, these things are called crypto, right? And crypto comes from the word cryptography, which is another long story. Basically, MetaMask facilitates. So MetaMask or crypto wallets are one of the ways that this technology helps users to send money permissionlessly, transparently. You can verify transactions and all that. So that's MetaMask. Please download your MetaMask wallet. The QR code will take you to the Play Store, and you can download that. So that's MetaMask. Finally, I'd like to introduce our sponsors. One of our sponsors for this evening. Timon, you want to come say hi? So Timon is also
a Web3 wallet infrastructure, and Caroline will tell us more about.
Hi guys. Please wait at me if you can hear me. Okay, of course you can hear me because I'm on the mic. Does the name Timon sound familiar? It should to most of you guys. Anyone? Come on guys, Timon is such a common animation. Yeah, Timon and Pumbaa. So we are Timon. We're in the travel tech space. What we basically do is we help you, when you travel, you don't have to have any anxiety in making payments, and we allow you to load your wallet from your local currency and pay out to other people in their local currency as well. We also help you get USD bank accounts, but we'll talk about that later. So welcome to the session. I hope you guys will learn a lot, and I'll be here to interact with you as well. Thank you. Timon is better than she put it. I used it. Can you hear me? Can you guys go? So, Ruby, go away.
No, I think this mic has an issue.
It's the mic. How is this mic? Oh, yeah. So, as I said, it's how we wanted to phrase this evening, or to frame this evening, is more of a conversation. I know we have techies here, and we also have creators here, and we're in the age of emerging technology. And for me, I don't know, for me, music is, I really love music. I love the Kenyan culture, and it's important that we speak about the implications of all these technologies that are coming up on, on our society, basically. So we have, we're going to have a panel later on. But one of the things that, besides blockchain, which is changing ownership, basically, we also have artificial intelligence, which is changing production and, also in a way kind of affecting how we are consuming art. How many have come across songs on YouTube, AI songs on YouTube, all this content? I'm curious about how that makes you feel. I'm curious about how our artists and our culture is protected in this age. So that's the conversation that I was hoping we can have more tonight. And for us to even bridge between the sponsors we have here, the conversation we have, we also need to understand the problems that we have faced, not even as creators, just as people living in Kenya, freelancers. Please, if you're at this age, you have freelanced before. Have you ever had to explain to your landlord why the rent? You have money, but it's coming. It's just been held somewhere. Have you ever been in that situation? No? Just me? Guys? Fine, it's just me. So, we want to understand how to create, or rather, how developers can create infrastructure that makes it, or is very intertwined into culture, that our people just have opportunities. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Because imagine if a content creator right now on YouTube, you know how YouTube takes their cuts and all that. You have this middleman, and there's this concept of gatekeepers that the traditional world has battled for ages. And now we have a wallet like Timon, for example. So you can literally just get your funds transferred, and wherever you are, you can just off-ramp that money. If it's you're in Kenya and you're traveling, someone sends you USDT, you immediately have it in your wallet, and you can immediately off-ramp it. There's some easiness that comes with understanding technology, and right now we are all about technology. It's like the next big thing, are we really creating it responsibly with just our community in mind? Does that make sense? Is that something that you have been wondering in your head? Have you wondered about that if you're creating? Anybody? No? Are you guys not facing any challenges? We are. Which one? What are you facing? Show me your ways.
not scary? It's crazy, yeah? I swear, I only wrote like 3 lines. Authentically African music, you know, no words, just a humming something. If I play that thing to you guys right now, you guys will freak out. Yeah, it's and I think it's a song I love, and I suspect it's AI. I don't know. I don't have the evidence, but I think it's AI. So
If you can download it, probably, yeah, maybe investigate. You can download it.
It's crazy, and it gives you 3 versions. 3. Anyway, so I think we're ready for the panel session. Maybe we can have some music play as we have the stage set up for our guests.
So the next segment is just a panel session with a few creatives. We want to get the conversation started. And as we mentioned, this is just an introduction between our community and the creative community. So we're going to have more of these discussions as time goes. So yeah, this is going to be our first one with you guys.
Yeah, and we need some mics on the floor because it's not just like the guys on the stage, you are on again, it's everyone. So feel free just to raise your hand, ask for the mic, ask a question, or we'll throw questions at you and we'll want some feedback.
Yeah. Preferably ask questions about so we can make it very interactive. I promise it's not a class. I also don't like I want to be there with you guys. Okay, so responsibly so we can move together. This statement of we are not just consumers. We don't just be consumers. We also want to be the ones developing these technologies, and we can only do it if we have these conversations as a collective. So I really want to thank the panelists that we have here and allow them to introduce themselves. Feel free to ask questions as well, and we can get the conversation started. We can start with Victor.
Hi guys. My name is Victor.
Louder.
Sasen. My name is Victor. Sasen. My name is Victor. I'm an artist, music producer, focus more on dancehall, melodic rap, and rap.
Hi guys, my names are Shazzy B. I'm a rapper, musician, and a dancer as well.
I'm just Rashuka.
Hello guys, my name is Kimati Castello. I'm a music producer, yeah, and also creative.
Yeah, so me and Castello actually go back, way back. Actually, we used to have a studio in Embakasi, and I funded the first microphone for the studio. So the VC lifestyle is not new to me. So Shuka, yeah, can you?
Yeah, so we'll just start this on a light note. Given that we're talking about technology, I want to know about your experience in the industry, the types of technologies that you've used, how they helped you. So maybe we can start with just a brief background on the latest paradigm shift you've experienced in your industry. It doesn't have to be AI or blockchain. Yeah, so what's a paradigm shift that has happened so far? And yeah, we can talk about were you prepared for it? Yeah.
Kwa ufupi ni nini kwa teknolojia ilikustua hadi ukashangaa ukajiuliza form basically, yeah.
We can start with the lady and then over there and then.
Okay, me personally, I remember before I started music, I used to that was before Nyashinsky and Calligraph came in the game and we had a whole new change. So it was so hard for anyone to even hit 1 million views on YouTube. And all of a sudden everything shifted. So people now started listening to Kenyan music. That's when now Gengeton came in and then people were vibing to, even though people started having, their own negative, opinions about it. it, but at least we were listening to our own music. But it was so hard for even to grow your own YouTube channel. It was so hard. So when that shifted, I think I kind of felt like, wow, there's something changing.
So the paradigm shift was Calligraph and Yashinsky.
Not really. It's not about Calligraph and Yashinsky. I can just say that people were coming up, artists were coming up, and they were releasing music. People just shifted from waiting for the next Migos album to waiting for X-Ray to release the new song. So I think it's much more, I don't know what happened in the algorithm or the technology, but something just happened in between, and we started having people now listening to Kenyan music. So that was a big shift.
Hi, Dean. For her, she knows about the industry part. For me, as a becoming artist, this is what I've heard, especially the Gengeton platform. Akina X-Ray, akina X-Ray, akina Mbuzi Gang, akina Boondocks Gang, akina Udimuranga. Like those guys wakianza the music game, luckily they had support from Watka Black Market Records, Watka Calligraph Jones, akina Joakalia was Wakeli. Like they like walileta they brought something called gang Yajilisaidia a lot of artists wangele so much into the gang. So right now on the music sector, for someone who especially who anamix dancehall and anamix gengeton in the mix. So unapata like it's a lot of challenge because unapata kuna watu akina Fadhamo, akina watuka Taxclerical, akina Kasa, akina Kada in codes. For me to reach that, for me to reach level, I say it's kind of challenging because sasa Tukasa alianza if you look at her interviews, kuna place alisema ati Kenya limokolani tuendelee tu kupiga ma freestyle nini akajulikana tukina motive nini kujulikana. So in this music industry it's very hard. Even for example, like utapata the even if squeeze my labels and exploit most young artists, but you find even having that challenge of at least kupata mtu ako willing to help bila kupea control, especially in the music industry. A lot of people kupata, like for example the labels it's very hard, like kupata msee control your creativity. You find like you can't be creative, like you can't be creative, like unaweza pata you can maybe you're very good in rumba ya gengeton, you're very good in dance, but unaenda kwa place like mtu anadai upigishe rumba, mtu anadai upigishe urban, especially if you're a music producer and an artist, you find it very hard to make your own music when you not die. So the challenge in the music industry is not mostly about creativity, especially when you call at least something big. And as an upcoming artist is to find people who take you serious for your music. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Victor. Yeah.
So Pastor says he doesn't want to contribute to that. So just something you notice here. So kuna wale those who feel like Calligraph will come on the scene and then things change, certain artists change the game or something like that. And then so there was a time when a music distribution will go almost like the plateau and then ikapanda. So what I would want you to take note of in terms of technology is that there's a technological shift as well, right? people do not notice that. So let me give an example. There was a time when they had this show on the TV called The Beat. Right? At the same time, people are like, oh, I said the gatekeepers, are chasing Gomazetu, I'm at the radios, they don't play our music. But look at the technology. The Beat was a broadcast medium, right? So you've got this one station, and then you've got this 30 minutes, and then you've got the whole of Kenya trying to squeeze their music through that one pipeline. No. So of course, like, there's a million artists who will not get visibility. So no. Alright, marketing or distribution of music mostly that time will go on like radio, right? Again, millions of artists in one country all trying to get heard through keys and God knows whatever other series you go. So what changed in terms of technology? You have now the advent of like YouTube. So technology will change now, meaning you do not need to go to one central person and beg them to play your music or pay them to play your music. With YouTube now, every single person would now create an account, and you become your own radio station, you become your own TV station, right? And now it's almost on you to basically try market your music, or if you have a budget, put it down. If you're really good, maybe your neighbors will hear it, and then So just my point is, technological shifts will affect how music is discovered and distributed. One other big technological shift that really happened was social media. So with social media now, everyone is like their own newspaper or their own billboard, and everyone can now speak for themselves. You have creative direction of how your brand looks like, how it's positioned, how you're pushing it out there. So these are ways that many observe that technology may affect distribution of art, content, and all this stuff. Castello, like you want to say something?
Before we go to Castello, there's Victor. Sorry, I'll come back to you shortly. Victor, you mentioned how hard it is to break into the production. Yeah, into the production industry, because you rely on a label, and then they kind of stifle your creativity in the process. You want to do Gegeto, they tell you to do Rumba. Have you experienced or have you been able to sort of navigate through that using, I don't know, YouTube? She has mentioned how when you have YouTube, you just go put your own mixes over there. So why I'm just trying to understand how it has been a challenge for you during the age of YouTube. If you can just try and explain that to me.
So there's a place I talked about, Black Market Records. So when I joined Black Market Records, I was initially a hip hop producer. So I was just told fanya hivyo, wenda gengeton ama banton. It was really a challenge for me. I think for me initially, I learned about creativity, more about changing creativity. I learned this by a lot of listening to most, like nikiambiwa nataka uunde music inafanana. Okay, I want to make exactly hip hop because I do production in dancehall and gengeton, but when nitageuza hiyo beat itaka like it will look hip hop but see hip hop, you see. So it's about referencing from most artists and most producers. Sana I do referencing from most producers because most artists because producers seem kalika hamam sana. So for example, if I want to make a love song, which is a love song, obviously because I know I am into dancehall, and I referring for those who know Jada Kingdom, I refer to Jada Kingdom. There's a new song Rashana may release inaitwa deterred by Shemsia na Valiant. So na refer hapo, nasikia until I capture the moment I want to make. So through that moment, sound I make something from it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's something interesting about social media back in YouTube. So we had this narrative before that celebrities can only be musicians. You know, we used to know Sauti Soul back then. We just had a lot of artists. But once TikTok came in, we came to understand that content creators can also be celebrities, right? So many content creators came in the game and they even surpassed how much they actually make than artists themselves. So I remember when TikTok came through, we were all like, 50-50 about it. Like, maybe we give it some time since people are so on it and then it's gonna go down. But after some time, we came to realize that is our way of life. That is where you need to do or post your content so that people can reach you, other than just going, shooting a music video and then posting it on YouTube and then waiting for views. So you can actually go post small 30 seconds, 60 seconds videos on YouTube, on TikTok, and get people to actually know you or understand you, other than just waiting for those platforms. You used to wait for a lineup, sijui niende media tour ya Citizen TV, niende mpaka sijui. It was crazy. You had to wait for a long line, or they'll tell you, hatuwezi fanya media tour yako hii wiki because of this and that. But at least TikTok gives you exposure. That is one of the technological shifts I can say it has helped us creators generally.
All right, thank you. Glad to hear from both of you. Castillo, do you have anything to add? Ochi, anything to add? All right. So, it's nice to hear the last thing that Stuart, you guys. So now I'm also curious to know if, or rather, your engagement with technology as it stands. For me, the one thing that's scaring me about tech is AI. How many of you guys have heard Kuja Karibu? Nobody? No? Are we on the same algorithm? Are we age mates? My bone spectre? Well, apparently it's, AI produced and all of that. And as I mentioned before, you mentioned Nyashinsky, you mentioned Calligraph, but those are cultural figures for us. By the way, I just met Toxic out there and took a selfie with him. Thank you, Ruby. So, these artists, as much as they symbolize culture, I guess, I feel like there's a harm when we leave overproduction to maybe AI. So I just want to understand your experience with emerging technologies like AI. Have you used AI to produce your music by any chance? Victor, you have? Can you tell us more about that?
There's a place I don't know if it's you, heard from about Suno. One advice I can give to producers is, let me just put it in the language you don't understand. Suno si kitu unafaa kutumia kuproduce, because and I was told, I don't know whether you guys know about unspoken Salato. During my time in Black Market Records, he told me one fact that it was painful, but it was the truth. AI, yes, it's because I also studied about ICT, software engineering. AI, here I can say it. But in the music aspect, maybe you can use AI maybe to ask it whether it's good. It's whether your music is good, but usitumia kitu kaa Sonat, sijui kunda, sijui drum, sijui kunda melody, kunda the harmonics. Because what Suno does, itachukua some of the sounds from other reference. Na because Suno what do we say? Because Suno imekufanyia kila kitu mambo ya licensing nini. This happened to me once when I tried to distribute my music. You know very well, like, you have not even copied the beat totally, how to sample beat like totally. Acha ifike to distribute the song. When I knew that this song can't be distributed because of CG, you have used it directly, then they start asking you, please provide us the license. Saka umetumia Sony, utajua how will you know this track? How will you know this track is the same with the other tracks? So itabidi utafute other tracks pole, and you're going to take a lot of time, and you're going to waste yourself a lot. And in this, in the music industry, awezi niambia mtu kaa Russia niunda beat yake then niimbe kitu kama Cold Breeze Reading, like for example the song about story, it was called Boko Hunters by storyteller Simon Bouquet. Leave that alone. Kuna TikToker, kuna this song by Silvertone's Bars called Work. Initially I didn't know that they stole the beat from Spice and Steph London, Clockwork. To make things even worse, she's even using some references from the hook, like something like work. So like you are stealing the beat, and to make things worse, you're stealing even the phrase. So if you don't have that license, it's gonna cost you a lot. Yeah.
Sorry. So for you, it's more the risk. More. Okay. Guys, mwenye anaweza. Can you please move your Range Rover? Whatever it is.
Kindly, if KCJ 982C is your car, could you please move it? SOS, please. Please, thank you.
Yeah. So for you, the risk mostly like a regulation risk, like.
Not really regulation, your uniqueness, because you have to be unique as, not just as a producer, even as a, if you're both, you're beneficial, it's very beneficial, very benefit kwako, but wake up producer, you have to be unique, and your artist has to be unique. Yes, Masters Ming is a most gengeton artist, and this is what I have learned at Miliona. Most styles of beats and the rhythm is the same for all gengeton artists, but since what not like you can't tell me like Kafa and the Mona Sar work on the same rhythm now. How should I put it? Like when you steal, for example, ukiiba beat for this reference track, like for her you tell her to, maybe amezoea hii rhythm, amezoea hii cadence, for those who understand, amezoea the cadence, amezoea the rhythm, amezoea the flow. Then you take it to haendani na flow yake, na umechukua the beat. How will you change the beat if that beat isn't yours? So the uniqueness.
Okay, so I want to play the devil's advocate about Gen Alpha. That's not Gen Z. This is Gen Alpha. This is Gen Alpha, maybe in like 5 years, but in the head of studio or something. They may argue that shida si usitumie AI is that you should just become a better prompter. So here is a magazine, who do you prompt? Because kama sisi sahi walau like wasema wanatumia AI mbaya sana, and I'm telling you they're all just printing websites that look
all the same. So mtu anaweza sema okay, hata msitumie AI like hiki tu saa zote zinakaa the same, but kuna mmoja wetu huko amehakio kitu. I don't know if they're the best designer, but this guy is not really a designer to be honest. Like, yeah, anajua tu kupush hizo buttons vizuri. So what would you say about that?
Because I'll talk in both the ICT sector and I'm going to talk it in the music sector. The ICT sector, for example, when I'm doing a Django, the procedure is the same, everything is the same. This is kudanganya, but I use AI coding with Django. But nikitumia AI, ninajua kenye nafanya.
As we get ourselves pick up from where we left on, how many of you hawajawahi kuwa na crypto kwa wallets? Like, how many of you have never had a crypto wallet?
So all of you here have owned crypto at one point or the other?
Okay, other than Wildcoin. Najua about Wildcoin. Okay, so, well, since we've got our wallets tayari on crypto, make sure to scan the QR code for Timon and MetaMask when they pull up the ISO banner, and then tweet ISO handles to share, and some lucky people will get some address.
I believe you are still talking better. Yeah.
So on the soft engineering side, siwezi kudanganya, like, yes, natumia AI, but I don't use it, okay, even if I use it, but najuanga kenye nafanya. Hadi nikifanya my assignment when I was in college, siwezi kudanganya, natumia pia AI, but I understand kenye nafanya, like, you understand it, you understand, like that is the side of the technology part, is understand. But the music production side, hawezi niambia, you can testify to me, hawezi niambia, atuulize AI, utaunda aje code progression ya wimbo kama aje, kuna, hawezi niambia hivyo, haitakuletea venye mnafaa kuunda, haitakuambia hivyo. So the music production is all about your ears. You use your ears to make the music, to feel the music. Because I always say music is all about the feeling. If you don't feel this beat, or if you don't feel, I always say when I am making my music, kasi feel hii beat, sitaimba kwa hii beat. But that doesn't mean nikiletea msanii hata feel the same beat. But the purpose is for you to make when you use AI to make beats, you are not, how should I say it? You are a scam. Let me just direct. You are a scam.
your chest.
Yeah, so there's this that's what I was saying. So I really like playing the devil's advocate. Yeah. So sema mtu atumia AI in this come, right?
Kwa music production, that is.
So you hold that view?
Pardon?
As in you're confident with that statement?
Okay, you can use just a bit, but you can't tell me that maybe you can use it in a reference. Like for example, for me when I finish doing my music, naulizanga, because nimezaa ChatGPT, naulizanga ChatGPT, I upload my music kwa ChatGPT, nauliza nauliza how's the music, rate, nini. You can do it for the purpose of rating. Maybe for the, if you want to learn more, AI inasaidia pia kulearn. If you want to learn more, you can use it to learn. You can maybe how should I do it? Because yeah, AI. This is for ChatGPT. Even soon, pia imetengenezwa na binadamu. So uliza kitu kama I don't know about Suno because I've never done Suno, but you ask something like Gemini, you ask something like ChatGPT, because ni binadamu itakwambia like this song, or it will help you to say maybe you can better this to do this and this. So kutoka hiyo step and back, you don't use AI kuuliza how do you do it. Maybe for example, if you don't know where to find this certain put it. For example, let's say if you are a beginner producer, that you have Nike, you can ask Nike you can even refer to Google. Then you maybe for that purpose. So using AI full in music production is something I can't even say even in the future ukitumia AI for music production tower.
So I have to bring your attention to something, and then I will force this guy to speak because I know he's passionate about this. So who decides how much AI is too much? And who decides tutatumia Google hapa na hapa tutapiga hivi na hivi na hivi? Unajua? I want to give you an analogy, right? And this thing can happen. You see, tunaishi in time, right? And time will change. So for example, I'm sure the first time electronic music ilikuja, wanasema hii kitu mazee si real music, si kama zile drums zetu, unajua. The first time the calculator came around, wanasema hii kitu nenda kuguess math, unafinya tu. Sasa hivi unaweza mathematician, unajua. Sio mathematicians walikuwa na feel like sasa anyone can just figure out 900 times 900, unajua. Another analogy, I know tunapenda hip hop ama music. Kuna tunasema Drake is not a real rapper. Man, Biggie and Tupac, those are like the realest rappers, unajua. So this is just a cycle of life. Like, this is just what happens with time. Every generation has something new to come up. There are those who jump on the technology and leverage it. There are those who wanaachwa nayo. Kuna watu bado hawawezi vaa skinny jeans, hiyo ni masharti mengine. So yeah. So I think it's really a matter of perspective, and I'm not pro AI or anti AI. Although being pro AI, but I'm not like judging like your view. I'm just shedding more light on things like this that have happened in the past, and people have always taken a pro or against a position. Castello, maybe you know that.
Hello. As for me, the more I learn about AI, the more I understand it's very important to merge, use, because in music, I've produced music from way back, and it was hard to produce music, You had to learn instruments, mixing, mastering, arrangements. Nowadays, you can make a song in 5 minutes. And and upload it, So I believe AI it's a good tool that we can use because it gives us more options, right?
Yeah, final thoughts from everyone, I think.
Okay. Me, I would second with this guy, and I'll second with you as well. There are some limitations when it comes to AI, but I feel it's not more the perspective side. It's also more on how someone is using it. So, like, maybe I'm working, I'm looking for a job. I'll just go straight out to ChatGPT or AI mode and be like, can you create a CV that looks like this, and it gives me specifications based on how I tell it or how I prompt it. So I might go get a job with that CV, right? So AI there will look good for me. Or I might just be like, I don't need to pay a designer to create a poster for an event for me. So I just go type in your create a poster this and this date, and it happens. So it's more of how you use AI and to what extent do you know AI. I remember the first time I was introduced to AI, we were in this UN workshop, and they were trying to introduce AI to business, to women who are in business, how they can leverage it to get more customers. And in a period of, I think, 3 months, some were able to grow if they leverage it right. Those people who are like, with their perspective, our own thoughts, our own opinions and beliefs, and we let those beliefs just cut short what we could have at least achieved. They will be like, hey, kitu imekuja na wazungu, we can't try it. I've seen someone do it and they have lost money. I've seen someone do it and they have lost this. I think AI is good right now, but we don't know to what extent it's gonna ruin us or to what extent it's gonna benefit us. But for now, I feel like if you use it the right way, you will be able to leverage it right. That's my opinion.
I love that hata tujaguza Web3 where the discussion is still around AI and the panel is over. So
Yeah, are there any questions?
Yeah.
Passionate, burning questions.
Let me stand up to walk.
Oh yeah, I think there's mics on the...
Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, so speaking of AI music, so far, like I've been able to watch AI music reach the part where, evolve to the part where we are at the moment. Speaking of the way the copyright infringement has been happening, those songs we have mentioned, I guess there was first AI music generators. There was one was called Splash Music. So they will issue it came down on 20, it was their operation on 2022 on there because of copyright issues. But they were pretty good at music generation. So speaking of Suno is an amazing tool at the moment. Speaking of you want to protect your creativity and you don't want AI to mess up with that, you can create your melody separately and use a mashup tool. You can mash up your beats after you have created them on your own side, then you can mash up. And the question I had was about... I've forgotten my question, sorry. Yeah, but...
You can take a minute and then we'll come back.
Okay, even a comment is fine. I'm still assuming it's fine.
Yeah, my comment was more on the music part. So the evolution that's happening, I think there's more coming on to AI. Yeah, there's something much better coming. And so I think
you can just feel it. You can feel something is happening. Okay. Valid.
I think there's a question there. The lady in the back. Yeah.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
your name and
Okay.
about yourself.
My name is Salma Adam, and first and foremost, thank you very much for the panelists for bringing up a topic that is not only burning, but mine is not maybe a question, but more of can we change our perspective in terms of how we view AI and technology, if it's possible? Because number one, it comes as a shocker that in order for AI to actually give you a response, it means it has data set that has been fed to it. So that question steps in, like, who is feeding that? It's us, of course. So instead of us viewing AI as the quote-unquote enemy, maybe we can view it as a tool that can advance our creativity. And I know in this time and age, technology is evolving really fast, and creativity is at a detrimental state. But maybe we can think of it more or less as a partner in how we're growing in terms of creativity. Let me just point out a few things I've just learned from the people sitting around me. My neighbor here has a platform. Okay, the friend has a platform that is Viral Africa, is more or less, because one of the panelists brought up TikTok. At first, for creatives, was hard for them to adopt to, but once she saw that it is a tool that she can use, then it was easy for her. So if we are truly championing for genres like Gengeton or Hangla to be truly local, why not utilize platforms like Viral Africa, where it's only African content, but it's more or less like TikTok, but only African content there, yeah? Again, another thing to pose out there. I am in the space where technology is moving fast, and I'm really trying my best to keep up with it. How can I be of value to you as the artist, the producer, the dancer, the musician? How can I be of value to you to like help you keep up with what is happening? And I'm charging, sorry, but because in the spirit of just bringing up the point that AI is not the enemy, please, let's collaborate. And since this is an event first of its kind, I believe the best outcome out of this would be for us to hold hands and find solutions. Because from the panel, I'm just hearing more or less like the problems, the limitations. So how about we think, change the perspective, yeah, think of solutions and maybe better outcomes. Thank you.
Yeah, let me just comment on that. Yeah, so there's something on the sema. I really, really love how positive you are about that. As well, of course, fear, I think, is the first instinct, and that's why human beings do survive so long. But she said, imagine Ohamla in AI. Right? So, for example, CC as Web3 Labzz, I've trained my Claude to know what Web3 Labzz is. I have like a year plus of history, or like 1 year history of Web3 Labzz data. So when I'm writing a proposal, I just say, I'm trying to send a proposal to this organization. Kindly find any points of alignment between my organization and that organization and this program, and draft from their proposal. It knows what I'm trying to achieve. It will do that. And I can do that like 50 proposals at the same time. I don't see anything wrong with that. What if you could train your AI on just your music? Yeah, like not even at yours, taking the world's data. Just finish your music, train it, and then now you can iterate a million versions of yourself. Because essentially, I don't know if you guys have watched Black Mirror. Have you guys watched Black Mirror? Black Mirror is crazy. Like Black Mirror, I'm talking about basically.
Before we continue, have you guys watched Black Mirror? Thank you.
Amazing. So Black Mirror, what I'm talking about, basically, like, if you die, you still have a version of yourself that is here. So you basically take your consciousness and you digitize it, and it will always be here forever. So I think we are literally at the beginning of Black Mirror, and the robots are here also, but But yeah, I shall stop there because I won't stop. There's a question there.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Hey Uchi.
Oh, nice.
So my name is Alfred. I am the co-founder at Sasa, for building culture, commerce, startup societies, interesting stuff. I have a few questions for the panelists. I'd just like to know, are all of you in music there on the panel? Is everyone in the crowd here from music? I'm guessing we're from different backgrounds. I'd love to know your favorite tools. Yeah? Your favorite AI tools as panelists. I was assuming those are not musicians on the panel. But the second question is, what is art to everyone here? Right? Like, not what is your profession, not like I'm a producer. What is art to you? Because I think that question matters when you say AI is gonna be incapable or capable of doing certain things. Like, are you threatened by it because you think it's making art? Is it just making content? Right? When the pen came, who was threatened by it? The pencil, the paintbrush? I don't think so. Like, what is art to you? So I want to understand that from the panelists as well.
Yes, so we will only have one person answer that. Right? Because I think time is up.
Yeah, maybe we can have one person.
Or maybe like a one-liner.
Yeah.
Like art to me is blah, blah, blah.
I'd really like to hear from Tosti. Look, as long as you had this speak
He's the most mysterious man in the movie.
So what is art? To me, okay. It's a way of life. And I'm team AI. I believe AI can make better art than me. It has better options because we're limited to.
What is art to you?
Pardon the question.
What is art to you? One-liner.
Art to me is like life. So every breath, every dream, yani kila kitu kwa yeah.
Okay, to me, art is more like a tool that is not a regular tool. You connect with it to the people because we all connected in one. So to me, art is a tool you use to connect with the community.
Amazing. I saw someone raising their hand so much, it would be a crime if she did not ask the question. The lady in glasses. Yeah, you had a question? Yeah, someone else's story like that.
It's not a question. It's more of a comment because I'd say I'm a creative and coming or listening to these seminars where we are not just putting our art out there, but we're also finding ways to make it more efficient and more in tune with technology as it goes. Mine was, we can have discussions about it. AI, but what if we just had sit down where we're talking tools, methods, how we can incorporate things, like what she said. She talked about if you are able to use it the right way, you can leverage it. So what if we've had the conversations for those who are pro-AI or for those who are not pro-AI, for those of us who want to use it, can we know how to use it? Can we see ways? Can we have panels where we know the tools that we need to use or leverage? How are we going to do it, basically?
Thank you so much for that. Very. Oh, yeah.
Okay, before you go there, I like what you said because it's okay, we can talk about it and then end this program and everybody goes home. But it's good to have a solution. Like right here, I'm a content creator. I know there are other people here who are also content creators. So let's say I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have YouTube, right? I've posted my content. How can I tell the algorithm to either favor me, or how can I get myself more views or more people to make sure that I get money in my pockets? Like, that's the kind of solution we are asking. Or how can I network more? Let's say, for example, I have an event. I'm supposed to reach out to so many people to come to my event. How can I use AI to get people to come to my event without generally just printing brochures or posting on IG and only getting 2 likes? So how can AI help us solve that?
Yeah, so I think, thank you so much, Shazi. Thank you so much, panelists. We're done with the first panel. I don't like sitting down for long, and I never imagine I'm going to be the person who puts other people through that. So, yeah.
I knew at some point I'd be that person. I really love having these conversations, and it's an important question that you've asked, and it's majorly the reason we are here, right? Because it's not supposed to be a networking thing. So talk to the person next to you and ask them, what AI tool are you using, and how can we, enhance productivity? For preserving culture, and right now we've already spoken about emerging tech. We've spoken about AI alone, which is changing productivity and production, and the other one is Web3, which is changing ownership, and I'm sure we've touched on several aspects that allude to that. We're going to have that in the next section.
Yeah, so the next session, which will be our last panel, and we won't keep it too long, we want to discuss solutions, right? So what does success look like for a creator? What are the processes that you want to be made better, and then how can we work together on that? And for Web3, we'd like to discuss ownership. So, for example, right now, everyone is saying, Spotify is amazing, right? But apparently the CEO of Spotify is making more money than Drake. And that doesn't make sense, right? So clearly, the technology, again, has been hijacked by those who are really good at it. And they are basically robbing, I am a creative as well, and creatives are always complaining that, it's like, we're being taken advantage of, and it's 2026, man. I don't think that should be the case anymore. So I think that's where the technology progresses. So we'll end this session and then prepare for the next one.
So thank you so much, guys, for joining and participating in this conversation. Hopefully we can meet together again. Maybe you're performing next up, right? Yes. So thank you so much. A round of applause for our panelists.
for showing up.
I think we also need standards. Hata kama sisi ni watu wa tech, pia sisi tuko na standards zetu at least. Basi tukae fiti. All right. So thank you everyone again. On this last leg of this conversation, we're going to continue, of course, discussing technology, but more on what do we really want to achieve out of this conversation, right? What does success look like for both parties, for creators and techies? Yeah, we'd just like to understand more of what the processes look like. So, there's creating content, there's pushing it, in all these fields, these areas, kuna things that need to be done that can be optimized and be made better, right? For success. So we have to look at what that looks like. Also, I think we said it was, there's an interesting project that Abbas, as you guys know him, has done. I'd like for him to also share what inspired that. And of course, Abbas never misses a beat, right? Always on time, right? Even with AI. So yes, I think Abbas, say hello to the people.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? Popoa. Yeah. She's up on my intellectual knowledge, so today we're going to talk deep. Yeah, but thanks for inviting me over here. Big up to Casa, big up to Hit Labzz. It's good to be here, all the artists who are here. Ruby, big up to you. Everybody else on the panel, Lausia, Deole. That's what's up, big up to you. So yeah, it's good to have this panel discussion so that we can chop it up and then, we see what needs to be done and the way forward. I'm a VP. Thanks for having me here, bro.
Hello guys, I'm Sairi. I'm a creative and an innovator, and I'm glad to be a part of all of you guys and whatever we're trying to do. Yes.
Mr. Maji, about you. Happy Africa Day. Yesterday was the previous formation of the African Union, and my African kings and queens here. Happy Africa Day to you. I also think, just to give a bit of context, I was not supposed to be here, so thank you guys for having me on stage. It's nice to be here. I'm Alfred. I go by many roles, to be honest, but today I'm wearing the hat of creator technologist. I have songs out there. I used to write a lot of raps. They're not bad. You can look for SoundCloud. You can check them out. But I'm focused on building tools for the creator ecosystem, particularly tools that bring us together as Africans. How many of us here already have collectives that they formed as musicians or artists or creators in their own rights? I'm sure you're not building alone, right? How many of us are in like a collective or a crew that makes stuff together today? Amazing, amazing to see. So that's the kind of stuff I care about, like bringing these collectives together so we do bigger things as creators. Thanks.
Amazing, amazing. So, Alfred is a tech bro, stroke art bro, just like me. Probably he's more involved in art than me, but yeah. Oh, I'm not loud? Project. Louder, like that. So then what's the point of a mic then if I have to shout? So, okay, so, Siri, I would like to start engaging with, the best of the best in the world. I guess, given that you have been here from, I guess, the cassette era to the streaming era, you've seen it all, I would say. How do you say, what would you say are the gaps that are missing? And how do you think we can solve these gaps with the technology that we're discussing now, which is now things like blockchain and AI? And how can we basically, how would an upcoming content creator or artist, how would they leverage this?
I think what we need to do is learn ourselves.
learn it. Regardless of what you have to do, for you to sustain your art or your work, you need to learn the tidbits and the secrets of how you can maneuver and everything. You see what I mean? Because as for me, let's say like I'm also learning, you know, at some point I even learned how to edit videos, and I was doing them during the COVID era, you know, so I could do something for myself in between time, you see what I mean? So those gaps, yeah, where we have, just when you see there's something missing, try to see what you as an artist needs to input to fill the gap. So you go learn and learn more. Like for now, my social media platforms are being, you know, managed by the respectful people. Of course, I'm an artist, I can't do everything, you see what I mean? So I get a team where I have my image guy, the guy who does my IT, my designs, everything, you know, the merchandise and everything. So me as a brand, I just stick to what I do. But at the same time, I also have to learn. Kuna vile na learn AI pia, you know. I'm learning so many things, the do's and don'ts, because it's infinite. You can't really like, I wasn't categorize it to something small, because we've spoken about prompting, you see what I mean? So right now I'm in this session, I'm in this period of learning how to be a prompter and how to use AI, so that I become the one who is in charge and, you know, make it creative so that it doesn't look all the same. Because nowadays, some people who are using AI, you're like, that's AI. It becomes very obvious. You see what I mean? But if you merge, like you see in the album art cover, if you merge both sides, yeah, the organic and the machine side, if you meet in between, I think you can create the balance, and that's how, you know, you manage the gaps. Did I answer your question though? No. In a sense, it makes sense. So.
So, Siri, you are a child of this time, I would say. When you're just Mongoleo, the real deal. You're like you are the face of the new artist, right? And you were born in a time where you probably had Facebook, you know. What is your experience as a young artist in this time? You see, Mr. Khan here has the people doing his posters, right? He has that budget. He's established. There's people who do that for free for him, you know, just because of who he is and what he has achieved. How do you see this technology, or what is your experience in this time as an artist, and what would you, like, what would be a dream situation for you, the most ideal situation for you as an artist right now? How would you maybe wish to be served by these opportunities and this technology?
The first thing I'd say is anything in this era is possible. There's nothing that is unimaginable in the human mind. For me, what the ideal situation would be is a place where we would not have to like use a lot of effort for us to get to where like the mainstream guys are. So for me, I think my ideal world with what I'd want to see with even like the solutions you're trying to create between people from the creative side and people from technology is if we're able to create an ecosystem that's able to beat the mainstream cycle, whereby any normal creative or any normal artist can be able to make as much impact as any other person that's probably in the limelight. And for me, I think my observation would be trying to create
spaces and avenues whereby we could capitalize on community, because I feel like tyranny of numbers and the law of masses is the key. For instance, with what we are talking about, AI and technology and the era of TikTok and all of these other social media platforms, all it takes is just one creative and probably just one person who's probably in technology to find a problem and come up with a solution that can be able to like give us a new scope of what would be able to do. But I think for me the ideal situation would be living in a space or living in a world whereby every single person, every single creative as myself does not need to feel like they need to get, they need to do something similar to like people who are in the mainstream. No, like the avenues should just be open, and there should just be a way that any normal creative, whether you're discovered or undiscovered, there's still a way you can be able to create your own niche and be able to create impact. I think that's what I'd say.
Yeah, okay. All right. And for the final question for our panelists, that's how serious I am about not keeping guys here for too long. Mr. Alfred, you find yourself in a very unique position between Mr. Kang and Siri. You sit in the middle. So both in terms of age and also in terms of the fields that you pursue. You are both an artist and a techie. So, so you have a unique perspective on things. You've spoken about artist collectives. I'm part of some artists and collectives, and I'm also a part of a tech collective. I want you to speak on, so for me, what I have identified as opportunities of this time and this technology from both fields, the field of AI and the field of blockchain and Web3, is from Web3, I would say ownership is the biggest hurdle. So, for example, Spotify is offering an amazing infrastructure for artists, but then artists are really struggling with that, right? So streaming platforms have that challenge. In terms of AI, Siri has mentioned that, okay, like Kang has his designers and his team, you know? It would be amazing if Siri could deploy a team of agents, AI agents, that could maybe help her through this process of being a self-sustaining artist, right? Do you have maybe some views on that, and maybe even feel free to take a tangent? Yeah.
Yeah, thanks again, Ochi, for this opportunity. For context, I used to write music. I've been in the event space for the past 10 years, but I've also been an engineer for the past 10 years as well. This is a very hard question to condense, but because of time, I'll try my best, yeah? How many of us here are afraid AI is going to replace you? From the artist side, how many of us are afraid they're going to be replaced by this tool, or they might not have a voice anymore? Can I ask one of you to answer why? Why you think that?
I wouldn't say replace per se, but the faster, the better, and the more unique when it comes to creativity. But like I said, AI learns from the past, so whatever AI will do will be something which has been done before. as we create the new what's next? That might be the challenge.
So in a way, you've kind of taken away my chance to answer your question. But I like that you're so wise, you found a way through. No, that's exactly it. AI is better, faster, sometimes more precise. But that's because of the person behind it. You're probably an expert. I know the legends on stage who are here before are experts, right? But for those of us still young, it looks like a pen to me, right? Like there's a generation here who AI is one of the first tools they're seeing. I have a niece who she chops videos on Google Photos, and it's amazing to me, right? Why would I take that away from her if she feels creative, right? To me, the question is, can we give everyone in this room the feeling of creativity with whatever comes next, whether it's AI, whether it's blockchain, whatever they're gonna call it, right? Can we feel confident to be creative in that space? And I'd say for Africa, that's a big challenge for the devs in the room. Right? A lot of us are building in blockchain and Web3, and I'm curious how many of us are building specifically for this ecosystem. Not because they're not tools, but I can't afford an 11 lab subscription, bro. Right? No offense. Maybe I can, but it's not built to price me in at where I'm at, especially for those of us here who are eager to start where we stand. And I think, so what we've been trying to understand is how do we bridge these two things? There's an economics part for the creative and for the people here in this continent, but there's also a part where we need to compete globally now with what's available. And I don't have the answers to these questions, which is why I love like just having panels like this. And I think it's important to keep on showing up for, I think, you know, community gatherings like this. And shout outs to Hit Labzz and everyone who's brought this together, Web3 clubs. But it's not a clear answer. What I can say is everyone in this room, because you're here, you're ahead, right? You have a privilege, again, to go forth and be the person to tell the person next to you, this is how you use this tool for music, for this, for that, to be 10x faster, so that they can spend their time trying to be more creative and gain an edge. Why? Because everyone is using AI now. So you're not the only musician trying to make indie, pop, Afro, soul, something like that, but you are going to still have to compete with everyone there and be the best and cut through the noise. So how are you going to do that? I don't think the answer is in being better with AI. I think it's in community, which is why I think banding together and doing bigger things is more important. But I don't have the answer to that question. I just say we're learning a lot from what we're building at Sasa. We have a paper on this, on what it takes. For example, has anyone heard of Kabilami? Kabilami, the biggest TikTok star on TikTok. He's African technically. He lives in Italy, for those who don't know. But he signed a deal recently. Does anyone know about the deal? Right? Just under $1 billion worth of valuation for his company. And they've licensed his likeness in every way, just so that one day this guy could be in bed and whoever's licensed him can use his AI to make money on TikTok 24/7. And for Kabi, it makes sense. Why? Damn, I need to stop, right? But for Kabi, it makes sense. Simply because he doesn't speak in any particular language. He uses gestures. And wouldn't you one day want to be able to go to sleep knowing that there's an AI out there for you making your money, but it's your digital twin with your rights? So I think there's a question of regularity and who owns the things. I think we should discuss ownership more. I think we need to build more tools where we understand who gets a say in the training of it, because Africans don't have a say in that and it bugs me. But using it, like everyone has said, yeah, do your most. Be like the king here, Abbas, and you know, you're a learner, you're focused on prompting, and that's all you can do while banding together. I do not know if that answers the question, but I think it poses something to all of us, right? Like, how can we all feel creative? Because AI is not going to stop now. It's just the beginning of a new era, like Ochi said. And I don't think anyone is even ready for what the change looks like just yet.
Yeah, I think you had something, right?
I had a question, yeah? Or nataka tu kuuliza so that I can know. I thought about it, yeah? Robot language and our language. So for example, you see how Sheng is very progressive. Every week it changes, yeah? And I was just wondering, is there a prompter that can break the language barrier with AI? Because the prompter feeds AI. Now, unless we give them all the... Sheng keeps evolving. Someone will come up with a word tomorrow which is not written anywhere, and people would speak, and you see how a group of people would just speak in a group, and then you wouldn't know what they're saying. This is how Sheng works nowadays, you see. So I don't know, is there a prompter that can break the sound barrier with AI? And that makes sense?
I think, Kang, you're not being fair to me. I thought we were boys.
Before the nerd takes over, I think that's an interesting point, and it's what I've been trying to say this entire time since I got it. I don't know if there's a prompter. Yeah, I think the way to break that barrier is more or less, again, these collective gatherings and authenticity and storytelling. Like, you can prompt or you can write lyrics with AI, but there is something that you Abbas rapping, there's something that you would bring up, and I feel like that's what's becoming more valuable. It's your authentic voice, and everyone's authentic voices here, and yeah, so I basically, it's the human factor. Yeah, jump.
I think Abbas, that was
No,
a very unfair question. I think Ungeva could prepare for that.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that point on authenticity, right? I think AI can do anything except have a history, have a heritage, have a culture, have an experience. It's not alive. So there's no real feeling behind it. And every AI song that you feel convinced by is either a human being with enough intention to put something behind it, but there's that authenticity. I think that would be the theme, right? Like, there's no authenticity behind AI. And yes, it can make good content and hack your brain because you've been trained to like certain things. But that doesn't mean it's authentic. And the moment you recognize that, you kind of feel cheated, right? And we're going to walk into a new reality one day where it feels like everything is surreal, and all that can be is these community gatherings. So on that point, just one more thing, Uchi. I think what Abbas said about language is gonna be, it needs to be emphasized. There's 2,000 dialects in Africa, guys. How many of those guys are being kept out of this technology because they don't speak the language of OpenAI, right? I think that point for the devs in the room can't be solved with just a single silo, but that's a really key point that he's pointed. I can't stress it enough.
Yeah, the more I think about it, and it's coming to me now, pole pole. You know, we all came from one mother, right? So every human being came from one mother, okay? And the one thing that we all have is the belly button. So if you're to connect everyone's belly button, you come back to one mother, right? So I think, and I know there's someone in the room who I know can solve this problem. We're with him in the lab. He's a genius.
I'd love to chat with him.
Yeah. I'm sure with enough data on AI, we can probably get back to the first language of, I guess, the mother. I don't know. So, Kang, I think it's possible. When you spoke about AI is not alive, I'd also like to challenge you, right? So, have you heard of the theory that life is a simulation and we're living in like a, you know?
Yeah,
like
I have. Has anyone watched Pantheon here? Pantheon, guys, if you are afraid of AI, it's one of the most important things to watch for this time and age.
Yeah. So the theory goes that every life as we know it, we're basically like, you know, like the screen on a computer, right? But then what's really happening is that in the background, there's the electronics and the ones and the zeros, right? So we are just like an animation almost, yeah? But then in the background, there's like the real layer, right? You know, which people call spirit, God, and all those things. So now, my theory is, I'm a believer in multiple dimensions, and I'm a believer in life being just a flow of energy, and us as humans are just abstractions of this energy, experiencing ourselves, yeah? And so what I think AI is, you know, we have God in us, right? And so we as gods can also create. So we have created another world, another dimension, right? And so AI for me and this technology, I think AI and Web3, this is infrastructure for another dimension. And so in that dimension, you have creatures, AI creatures, which we now call agents. And these agents are living lives and they're having transactions and they're doing all these things. So I think for them, they are now living a real life, you know. But yeah, this is a rabbit hole, guys. So
I will discuss with Ochi on the side.
So we can have this conversation.
I have so many philosophical views simply because agents have no soul, in my opinion. But that for me kills it.
Yeah.
So
you're tutongia kando. So just to wind up this session, I'd like to get some questions from the audience. Or burning, yeah.
Hey guys, so my name is Caleb. I'm part of Web3 clubs. Mine is not even really just a question, it's part of what was just being said about. Okay, this mic is shit.
Yo, Caleb, take this.
Check.
Okay.
Hi. So I was saying, for the solution in terms of localization of LLMs, large language models, there's a solution that we are currently working on. It's still in its early stages. I can't say much about it, but it's really about annotating African data sets to make the intelligence layer for Africa. Because these are problems that we've experienced in terms of even the translations for local apps. For example, many of the startups that we build, their interfaces are mostly in English. And you find that, for example, if it's an agriculture app or a health app, if you're targeting, if say, for example, your target market is rural areas where the spoken language penetration is not as much as the written language penetration, you find that there's a gap in terms of the interpretation of the language because words mean different things. So we are looking for now researchers to put together all that in a single data set that can finally be trained on LLMs to make localization for large language models in Africa. That was my first point. My second point is that let us keep AI and art separate because I think art is the bleeding of the human soul. AI cannot make art. We need to find a different word for that slop that's made by machines. That's not art. Art has to come from the soul. Art has to be something that you spent hours and hours on. You went ahead and ahead. Yes, that is all.
Mr. Caleb is also a creative techie. Thank you so much for that. Questions? Okay, there's one, yeah.
My name is Don Mutai. So if you've seen me anywhere, I've been talking about education and adoption. So you talked about language. I come from a rural background. People there understand things. People understand. What happens is, you said geniuses. Devs are geniuses, builders are geniuses. But there's that disconnect between how they communicate what they are building or the product to the people locally. If in some way we find a way to talk or we push the product locally, then we'll come up with solutions now on what you said, LLMs. So solutions will come after we have gone local and talked to the people locally. Like artists like Abbas, he can reach a very wide people. Like Islands, people don't understand this. They can get from Abbas. Yeah.
There's a question. Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, my question goes to Mr. Khan Abbas. So apart from the dialect issue in the AI that you didn't get, was there any challenge when you were creating your album? Any other challenge you faced when you were creating that album?
Apart from just the usual, you know, everything always depends on cash. Like you need money to make that work. Apart from that, not really, because I'm dedicated. Mwanga nimejituma sana. Sometimes when I get a problem, I don't look at it as a problem. I just look as it's a stepping stone. If I complete this challenge, then, you know, that's my way forward. So challenges just make, I think I flourish in challenges, you know what I mean? But speaking of AI, the album, can you imagine it was a fan-made album cover? A fan just mailed it to me. It's like, yo, you should use this. I'm like, what? So yeah, it was a blessing. And big up to that fan if he's watching me right now.
Yeah, hi. My name is Mike Katiwa. I'm the founder of Momentos Creatives, which is a media production company. We are trying to reshape how Africa tells its stories in the digital age through videography, live streaming, and photography. And in our productions, we have been able to optimize our productions. Now, I could say 10 to 20% of our productions, they have been optimized with AI, and I'm looking how we can enhance that. So I have a few questions, and the first question is, as AI becomes more accessible day after day, it means that technical skills become easier to replicate. So in the next 5 to 10 years, what will be the real competitive advantage of creatives? And my second question is, in most AI conversations, we are always talking about efficiency, speed, and all that. But traditionally, creativity has been enhanced through experimentation, through trial and error, through human connection, and all that. So while we implement AI in our workflows, how do we ensure that we don't optimize creativity and lose originality and authenticity? Then the third question, which I would want every one of you to answer, is what is that one assumption about AI you feel that creatives get it wrong all the time? Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, and maybe we can have that as the last question. Oh, okay. One more after. Maybe you also ask yours. I think you can ask yours now. I'll remind you guys of what the questions were.
Hi, I'm Wangoi Kimani. I have a question for Abbas. Since you have created music before, do you feel like you're connecting with this now that you're creating through AI? Do you feel a sense of belonging with it? Do you feel like you belong with, you've created music before and now you've created an album using AI? Do you feel a sense of belonging with that music? Do you feel like it's your own? Do you feel like it's telling your story?
The album AI wasn't made by AI. The album cover, the artwork, but the music was all organic. I called the artists. We started from scratch with the producers and everything. So all the instrumentations and everything were done originally from scratch, organic. So the album cover is what a fan of mine made using AI, and then he sent it to me.
Okay, maybe to add something on top of that, you have had music made in Kenya by AI. You've had a few music. When you listen to that music, because you're in the industry, and what has been done before, do you feel there's a difference? Can you really tell there's a difference between the two?
Yes, there's a difference.
In terms of connection
I can tell organic energy from manufactured energy.
So it does not matter how they prompt the AI, it does not matter how much work they put behind it, you can still tell the difference.
The difference comes in because AI is very immaculate, and sometimes uzuri ya ngoma ni when someone kuna ma mess ups, it feels like, human, when you can hear, oh, the voice went like this, or you know what I mean. So there are those unique things about humans that you can always tell depending on your frequency, you know what I mean. But like I said, you were saying about how can we make sure one is not advantageous over the other, when it comes to creativity and stuff, yeah. I think that's why I give the example of balancing. Just if you know your balance, you won't go overboard because you have the instinct in you. So just trust your instinct and know where to learn and enhance your skills instead of changing them. You know what I mean? So it's the balance there. Terminator concept.
Hello, my name is Kosh Bua. I'm a musician. What I wanted to ask is that I can see that we do have a lot of tech people here. What are you doing to support the musician and the producer when it comes to tech and everything? What's the way forward? what's the way forward, being involved with the artists and the tech and everything?
All right. Yeah, so that's our last question. So what are we doing? We are having conversations just like this. So this is for us as Web3 clubs specifically. We have taken it upon ourselves to have this conversation, and then we are going to go back and put together a roadmap of potential solutions, and then we are going to engage the creator community through Hit Labzz and CASA and Watus. So these are conversations that we're going to be having and giving practical solutions to experienced content creators such as Mr. Kang here and young upcoming creators like Siri. That's what we're doing. I think there was a question that has not been answered. Bro, I think I've never had, like, you are so good at asking questions. You are very, like, there's a skill to the way you're a good communicator. I think that's why you're doing film and something. And you've optimized by 10 and 20%. Someone needs to consult this guy. Like I can just tell if there's a... like I know how to spot geniuses. So he is definitely one of those guys. So to our panelists, the question was, what does competitive edge in creativity looks like in this age of AI and hyper optimization of these creative processes? And then the other part of that question is, how do you maintain your authenticity? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are the kind of questions, man.
I think the edge is curiosity, one, but also discipline, right? There is a difference between using AI and letting AI use you, right? Knowing when you're being too lazy to actually do the hard work, and understanding I have a foundation of what I actually know versus what I don't want to know and want AI to handle. But I think if you know that and you're curious, those are the only two tools you really need to survive this. You can't predict what's going to come next. You don't even know what model is going to come out in the next 6 months. On the other question on how you maintain authenticity is, I think we're going to see an era where, like, everything online you can't trust if it's true, right? Like, it's going to be there's a person who writes a lot about AI, Sinead Bovell. Check her out on Substack. She's really smart. And she writes about the post-reality era. So it's going to be really hard to tell what's real online. And I think part of crypto's job is to help that happen, right? But part of your job is to keep in touch with reality and go touch grass, have a community. And that is your authenticity, because these tools are deceptive, right? That's the reason they are causing mental health crises and stuff like that. So there's a lot of regulation that's only catching up right now. But your job is to make sure you are still doing the work of checking in on yourself outside these screens. And I don't know if there's anything else you can do except keep on doing the work and iterating on your art. Because, like he said, art is made from the bleeding of the soul. I don't think it matters how much time you take, but if it's coming from the soul and from the heart, it's art, and that keeps you authentic. That's my answer.
So I'll have that as your parting shot. I imagine you packed most of that in there. Siri?
Well, I think for me, what I'd say is what someone else in the audience said. As much as we have AI and technology and everything, there's just something in art that you create. There's something that creates us to, like, the overall creator who's up there. And I think in as much as time will go by and go by, in as much as technology will advance and advance, I think there's just one particular thing that's very unique to humans that even scientists, even people from technology might not be able to get to it quite exactly. And I think that's probably the aspect that I'd say would be something that that gives that separation between now, like, the artist and now the person who uses technology. I think not even like the scientists have been able to, even for years, there's just something, so there's just like, I believe there's a unique chip that we humans have that is particular to us. And I feel like that's the confidence that every other creative in the room should be able to live with. There's just something that is God manufactured and it cannot really possibly be actually exactly replicated. I think that's what I'd say.
Mr. Kang, do you have a parting shot?
I can say, like, to be authentic, like you said, music and art comes from the heart. You can't beat that. So that's the best prompt ever. You're the one. Stop. Don't be lazy. Take advantage of AI the right way, but don't be lazy. You see what I mean? Let that not cut your you have to be active, because if you don't charge yourself, you won't rise your energy. So you have to be active, don't be lazy, but then just balance it, basically, you know. There's so much I can say about it, but, you know, in simple layman's terms, you understand what I mean. That Terminator module, we're going to go with that. Just be balanced, you know, so that everything makes sense. Is that good?
Yeah, thank you so much, Kang. I like being controversial. I feel like AI and all this technology, we've basically created another universe. And then those AIs and those agents will try to optimize themselves, and they'll create new creatures, and AIs will be having conversation. How can we be unique? What will make us unique from these different creatures that we've created? And they'll say, oh, there's just something unique about us. You know? It's like life is like that. I feel like that's how infinite dimensions are created, and so we were created and we are creating, and it's like the Fibonacci thing. But back to more practical things, right? I think there's definitely, we got to this point of technology by trying to optimize our processes, making life easier, right? And then in the process, we ended up creating another dimension, right? So I think for me, the thing is, use it for productivity, okay? There's nothing wrong with being efficient. We live on this planet. You have to eat food, you have to pay rent. Ultimately, we're going to a stage where human labor will not really be necessary anymore. You will not really need to farm food or create the best graphics in the world. We may even go back to that era where people just used to sit and philosophize the whole day and make fine art and stuff like that. So yeah, so this has been an amazing exploration. I would love to do this again, maybe after like 2 quarters, maybe towards the end of the year, see where we'll have gotten, what solutions we will have come up with together. Yeah, so thank you everyone for taking part in this. Thank you to my panelists, Mr. Kang, Siri, and Alf. Yeah, so apparently I've been messing with the audio. Oh yes, Mr. Kang has an announcement, and then we will also, oh yeah, question. Oh, I thought I was moving the mic like you're telling me. Oh, okay, okay. So one final question, and then Kang has an announcement, and then our sponsors will take the stage.
Hi guys, my name is Bilahi. Sorry to take you back to the discussion, but it's about to end, and I had a question before we leave. I'm a data scientist by training, so I'm not that much of a creative, and I'm not very big on Web3. And I really enjoyed the discussion that was being had on equity and ownership, and who gets to say who has a right over the stuff that you create, be it music and stuff. And I remember a couple of years ago, around COVID, there was a lot of buzz and attention regarding technology in the Web3 space, which is NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And so I was really curious about why that's something that never picked off in the creative industry, because from my understanding, you get to benefit from stuff like you have the ledger systems, and you have the whole decentralized finance, and you can have ways to verify the ownership of the token. So at the time, people were using it for drawings of monkeys and other such stuff, but I thought there could be real value in in things that are being created by artists. If you have stuff like, let's say, rare paintings, we have near field communication, we have RFID chips, and you can use those along with the NFT technology to use that for authorization and for ownership. And in the same regard with creatives with music and, let's say, film and motion pictures and stuff like that, if you attach the ownership credentials and the hashing and everything that comes with the NFT technology to the work that you put out, so when you publish things on the internet, you can declare and you can say with a level of certainty who has ownership over this, who has ownership over that. We hear a lot of discussions about artists selling the rights to their stuff. From my understanding, it would be something that would be made easier by that. You can have situations where maybe you have partial ownership over the NFTs between the artists and the labels that they're signed to, or you have situations where if you drop an album or you drop a project, you have tokens related to that project, and based off of the ownership distribution, you can have a certain amount of how many of the tokens have been released to the open market, going to the artist, going to the label. You can trade those on the secondary market. There was a lot of stuff that I was thinking of when I was upstairs regarding to that, so it's an open-ended question posed to the creatives that are here and also some of the Web3 people who are in the room. Why is that something that didn't pick up, or something that didn't kick off? When you look at that, what do you think is something that didn't work?
Yeah, let me just maybe say something about that. I think the NFT era and everything, it kind of self-destruct because of what was happening. It was on the verge of COVID happening and then other things happening. So I think that whole bubble kind of went bust because you still have like organic people who do painting. I do also, I'm also a visual artist. I paint like with acrylics, spray paints, and even palette knives, you know, with oil and all that stuff. So, and then I remember, I think even you guys saw it, there was one picture that trended very crazy, yeah? Somebody went and put a banana on the wall and then stuck it with sellotape, and it's like, wow, that goes for $5 million. Come on. We can't really violate artists like that. You can't do that. And then after that incident, they started normalizing splash art. You know, some would just like go and splash some stuff over there, take a picture, NFT, be like, yeah, I need $10 million. You know, with nature, it doesn't work like that. So something like that, there's no organic energy behind it or anything that support that kinds, because it's actually a bubble. It's a mirage, you know, it wasn't gonna work. So I think part of the reason was that, you know, people kind of took the wrong direction on that, but then the organic side of thing kind of survived it until, so up to now, people still sell art, you know what I mean? So it depends on, again, I'll go back to how you balance it, the Terminator thing. When you balance it, you know, you get the results. But then if one side is one-sided, obviously the balance will be correct. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you can definitely tell he's a techie because he's basically just come and started solving the problem. So he's discussing solutions. So these are some of the things we're discussing. How do creatives own their work? How can they track that? So imagine you have a song and you've released it on the internet, and the first person who buys it or even plays it, you get something. And the next person who plays it, you get something. And imagine if everyone who has a wallet, a digital wallet or a crypto wallet, has some balances, and you need to have tokens. You know how you spend tokens to use AI? Imagine if everyone had tokens, and anytime you listen to a song, that song is attached to the guy who created it, and anytime it's played, you get something from it, and not Spotify, right? And that's the kind of technology that we're discussing right now, and these are the things that we should explore with this conversation. Now, I see there's a burning question there. I will not take that question, respectfully. We are still here. Sorry? Oh, you want to contribute?
Just on a technical note, the other reason it didn't happen is because consumers were too impatient at the time and blockchain was shit. Sorry. But people did not want to wait and click 7 times just to buy one song. Octopizzo released on chain during the hype cycle, by the way. He released a song, he dropped it on Polygon, all those things. It did work, but for those who cared to learn how MetaMask worked, today, use blockchain, you won't even know you're using it. And so that's also a critical change.
So there's a thing about timing. There's a thing about timing. Sometimes you can be too early, and sometimes it's just perfect. So I shall end the conversation there, guys. Thank you, everyone. before, actually, the conversation has not ended, guys. So these are the hashtags that you need to tweet. And then there's a link here. There's a referral code. I'm waiting for the slide to come. Yeah, 15. Yeah. So no. So use this to join our community if you want to. Okay, this is what I was looking for. Timon is an African wallet that is really, really good. These guys have supported us on this event. Kindly hit that QR code to download it. We have a representative here that will tell us how we can get some airdrops. An airdrop is basically finding that there's money in your pocket. That's how we call it in Web3, an airdrop. So kindly engage with this QR code. Yeah, and maybe a final word from our sponsor. Yeah. We also have some snacks and tea and coffee outside. Anyone who wants to do more than that, feel free to engage your wallet. Oh, Jesus Christ. Guys, my bad. Mr. Kang has an announcement.
Just a quick one, yeah. Since we're talking about AI and the album is still out, there's new videos that I'm dropping on Friday. Will be at Iris from 10 p.m. Sasawa, wala swali kwako hapa, or the ones who missed the AI listening party, you have a chance to do that because the tickets are being ticketed by Hit Labzz. That's www.tikiti.com. How see you? You can holler at Ruby over there and see you on Friday at Iris Lounge, which is on Gong Road. I'll see you. Yeah, from 10 p.m. It will be good, man. I'll see you. Thank you.
Yeah, and for those who love Jabba Juice, such as myself, and
oh yeah, there's got juice. Yeah, I got juice though. I got juice. And if anyone who wants, I came with some samples, but if anyone who wanted to consume, you can talk to me. See me in the camera behind that one there. So,
100%.
Yes.
Hi guys. Hello. I hope you had a good session. Should I? Okay, I think I'm more comfortable speaking when I'm standing. So I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what Timon offers you as a creative, as an artist, in reference to this conversation. So we are a travel and payments app. What's relevant to you guys more is travel. So what we offer you are virtual cards, USD virtual cards, that help you make purchases, make payments. They have US addresses. And this is particularly helpful for you when you're trying to subscribe to a service, trying to use your Kenyan bank account, your ATM card to make the payments. And sometimes because of the addresses, they don't go through, or sometimes because of the payment limits, you're limited. So we have two cards. The first one is a Visa one. You have an option to choose whether you want the Visa or the MasterCard. As you know, different merchants always partner up with different vendors. So both of them offer you different stuff. So they go for $4. Once you create the account, there's the code, referral code. So we'll be using those to track who signed up. So for the first, out of the people who sign up, for the first 10 people, you'll be getting airdrops of $5, which you can use to either purchase the card or whatever you'd like to. So once you top up, you can top up directly from M-Pesa, Airtel Money, or your stable coins. That's USDT, USDC, BUSD, directly, or M-Pesa, or even your bank account. Once you do that, then from the app, you're able to make a purchase just directly, something that happens within 10 minutes, and you can have your virtual cards. Secondly is we help you receive payments from abroad, and this is in USD. So we have a very strict KYC framework. So once you pass that, you're able to apply for a USD bank account with a New York address and stuff like that. So if you're receiving payments from abroad, we're making this bridge easy for you. You don't have to struggle going to PayPal, your money is locked and stuff like that. So you're able to receive money directly to your wallet, and you're able to pay it out into Kenya shillings, to whatever to any African country. We're in 16 African countries actually, so you can pay directly from your wallet to anyone within those 16 countries, or directly to anyone using Timon tag, which is like M-Pesa to M-Pesa, which is also free. Best thing about our cards, we charge you 2%. Most cards charge you 3% going upwards, including M-Pesa Global, which is more expensive for you. So yeah, looking forward to interact with you guys. Please, can you put your code? They'll put up the code which you can use when signing up. Using that, we're gonna be giving, by tomorrow end of day, the first 10 people to sign up will get the $5 airdrop, which they can use and redeem anyhow. Any questions, you can see me after. Yeah, thank you. Timon, Timon, Timon. It's right there on the banner. You're on my shirt. Yes, thank you guys.
So this is it. Use Timon.com.
They're gonna display just the Web3 creators. That's the referral code.
So use this referral code to get the airdrop for the first
10 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Msiseme hatujawahi tolea form. Sawa. Sawa.
All right, guys, before you leave, kindly do not leave with your visitor tags. Please, 50 of you have the tags. We need them back. Please give them back to me. Zile tags zote zitapotea, mjue tu ni Ochia analipa.
Tafadhali, nawaomba.
So tafadhali
Please.
tunaomba muangalie budget
Please.
ya wakulima wadogo.
Msiturudishe negative mazee.
Tafadhali. I need those tags back so that we can give them back to you next time. Thank you so much for coming through to Hit Labzz, to our first community builder night. A round of applause for the panelists, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the incredible team. As Ochi said, there's some snacks and some tea outside, so feel free. Mr. Doobies, Mr. Kankang he got juice, got some juice. So if you're a consumer of Jabba juice, go ahead and do those samples. Please show us love as you interact. Murky is on the decks. He's one of our HIT students from the DJ school. And yeah, thank you so much for coming outside and being a part of this incredible experience. It is a wrap.
Kipare bila pesa kidonda, cheki yako na kutoka, wananitanga Maradona, Juma wakata nikisonga, usibandishe mlembo boda boda, yana siku ya mwisho utamwona, usikize kani ligonga, niulize kile niliona, ai akama mpasare dry fry, na kupigana bila munda, vidole mbili weka pisa, hizo zingine weka inside, you know I pull up like a G, shorty ameweza she's a free, hakunanga kitu ya free, nagusa nina kali real.